Hello, crypto world! Welcome to the Chart Historian. My name is Justin, and on this channel, I delve deep into crypto charts, exploring chart structures, fractals, and patterns. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a chart that I've never talked about. It's not crypto, but I do believe it is important for anyone in the United States, as it could potentially affect all of us here in the US. And if it affects the US, it likely may have knock-on effects for other nations as well. This is the civilian unemployment rate. It's put out by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I believe this chart is due to be updated soon, so this is, I figured, a good time to make this video. It is my belief that this chart potentially is repeating. So let's bring this chart to life with a few boxes and an arrow. This first box right here takes place roughly from 1948 to 1969. It is this structure that I believe is potentially being repeated over here. Now, when a fractal repeats, the timing, the height, and the depth, those are always going to be unique to the new iteration. So even though the basic idea copies, the timing, the height of it, the depth of it, all that is going to be original to that new iteration of it. So if we were to copy and paste this structure over here, and of course we'd have to adjust it for the timing, height, and depth, it would look something like this. Now, we haven't completed everything, so the part in the yellow box is what has been completed so far. So let's examine what that is. So it starts with a move up and a move back down. We see that has taken place on today's chart with a move up and a move back down. Now, it's not an exact note-for-note repeat of what's happening, but the basic concept is being repeated. So after this first move up and move down, we have another move up and move down, followed by a consolidation. So we see that over here. However, this time it was just so much higher. This is during C19 when the economy was basically ground to a halt. This is the result of that. This is the unemployment that resulted from that. Of course, it's come down, and since then, it has been consolidating just like it has over here. And once again, it's not following exactly. The timing, height, and depth allow for novelty in a repeating structure. Let's zoom into this area right here and compare this structure to what's happening on today's chart. So here we are zoomed in, and we have the decline here. We even have the steep part right here, and then in the fractal, it moved up. Well, it didn't quite move up. Well, it did right here. It was much smaller, but it starts angling out and basically repeating the same idea that it did back in the day when this first was printed. It finally drops, and then it goes through this consolidation phase. And if you examine the two, they're very similar to each other. Of course, it's not exact. We shouldn't expect it to be exact, but it does harken back to this original structure quite a bit. So if this is to continue to play out, we should see a rise in the unemployment rate. Folks, I don't know how the timing of this is going to play out, but we have a potential large spike in unemployment coming down the pike. So this could potentially be towards the end of the year. Now, once again, I don't know timing. It could play out towards the new year. It could be in 2024. I don't know that, but what I do know is that we are likely at the cusp of unemployment continuing to rise, and it could potentially rise quite drastically. And of course, this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go this high either. Remember, the timing, height, and depth is going to be original. So it could be higher than this, just like this one played out higher than what the original structure was, or it could be lower than this. Or maybe I drew it just right and I nailed it. I doubt it. So it's most likely higher or lower than this. But nonetheless, folks, in the coming days, we are likely going to see the unemployment rate in the United States increase. Now, I know this is not a crypto chart, but I believe it ties into crypto in the real world. It is my belief that we are on the cusp of a crypto bull run. Folks, this is not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. But if we do see a rise in unemployment, I'm reminded of the story in the Bible of Joseph when he interprets the dream of the Pharaoh and he tells him that there's coming 7 years of famine and to store away food for that famine. Your crypto earnings, of course, this is not financial advice, but just consider this. Consider what we have potentially coming down the pike. Again, I don't know how intense this is going to be, but we have some interesting times ahead. Now, this chart also coincides with some of my other charts that I've been covering. That is the Dow Jones, year-over-year inflation, oil, gold. All this, I believe, ties in, and it all points to what I'm calling an economic hurricane coming our way. So, folks, be prepared. This video is to help you be aware of this possibility. Now, could play out different than this. It may not look, it's most likely not going to play out exactly like this, but you should be aware that we could potentially see a large spike, a large move up in the U.S. unemployment rate. Here we are zoomed out. This has potential to be scary. For those of you who've gone through a period of being unemployed, it's not fun. It's happened to me, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Maybe I'm predicting my own unemployment here. I don't know. But what I do know is that good can come from difficult situations. If you believe in God, which I do, and I've seen God move in my life. When I was unemployed, I saw him come through for me. So this is a time to draw closer to him, no matter what we have coming our way. And I believe we do have some pretty intense economic challenges coming down the pike. I believe that if you draw close to God, he will be with you, and he can take difficult situations and bring good out of them. So, folks, be wise with your crypto earnings in this coming bull run. Keep this in mind, and just remember that you can prosper in difficult times. I'm so glad you caught this video. Like I said, this is not financial advice. If you found this video interesting, it'd be much appreciated if you hit that thumbs up button. And if you enjoyed this type of technical analysis and you're not a subscriber yet, I recommend hitting that subscribe button. I'll continue to follow up on this chart as it continues to develop. I would like to be wrong about this, and who knows, maybe I am. But regardless, if I'm wrong or right, you should keep it in the back of your mind. Anyways, I'm so glad you caught this video. I hope you catch my next one. Have a great day, and bye for now.